Right now, the City Council will have the final say on a controversial high-rise tower in Crown Heights. And residents in Bed-Stuy want to know what the city is doing about the latest migrant encampment. There's a lot to talk about. Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso joining us this morning with the latest updates. Great to see you, Borough President.
Nice to see you always.
So let's begin. Yesterday, big party out there on 6th Avenue, 42nd Annual Dominican Day Parade. In case anybody missed it, I want to play a quick little recap. You were there. We have it? Uh-oh. There it is. I mean, it was no doubt a party, 1 million plus people, first time ever that it was broadcast on television right here on Pix 11. So for you as a Dominican elected official to be out there, everybody was Dominicana yesterday, but to see it on television too for the first time, what was it like for you?
I think it's amazing. You know, 1 in every 8 New Yorkers is Dominican. There's almost 1 million of us. And I think over the last 50, 60 years, the contributions that we have made as Dominicans to New York has been significant. And to have Channel 11 be there in an English-speaking network, to be able to have it, it's not the usual suspects in Dominican TV. I want to speak to the progress we're making and the recognition that we're getting for the work that we do here in the city of New York. So I can't tell you how proud I am every single year. But hanging out with Monica yesterday was a lot of fun, and just seeing you guys sponsor the event just really, you know, warms my heart, but also makes me feel very proud that we're making progress. Yeah, absolutely. Progress is good, and we were proud to do it. Let's talk about some issues right now with what's going on in Brooklyn. Rezoning fight in Crown Heights over this new high-rise tower. Why is there so much pushback, especially from you on this project? Yeah, so this is very unusual for me, the position that I took on this. In my history in the Borough President's office, what I want to do is build everywhere. We have a housing crisis, and we need to pay attention to it. But this is a very unusual situation. We're talking about building near the Botanic Gardens that will cast shadows on the plants that we're supposed to be using to preserve. And it just doesn't make any sense to me why we would build there. In 1991, David Dinkins passed rezoning specifically to cap the height exactly where the impacts of the shadow wouldn't affect any plant life. This is not a regular development, even near a park, which I would have supported. This is a very unusual and unique positioning or position that I've taken here specifically because of the Botanic Garden. Is there something to do there that wouldn't be as high? No, so as of right, they're able to go to about 7 to 9 stories. And that is what we can do there and what they should do there. What they're trying to do is go 14 stories. Originally, they presented a 34-story building. And it's just a complete, I think, a disconnect from understanding what the Botanic Gardens means to Brooklyn and what the Botanic Gardens just represents when it comes to preservation of plant life. They're just developers with no understanding of the community. They've come back and they're doing better, but they've already casted too much of an impact with the shadow. Okay, so keep us posted on where that fight goes, because what happens next now? It goes to now it goes to the City Council, so we'll see what the council member thinks. All right, let's talk about the migrant shelter issue right now. Encampments popping up in neighborhoods. There's this one in Bed-Stuy after a nearby shelter closed, and obviously people are concerned about that encampment. So what's being done about it? Well, that's the problem we have. We have a system right now where it's about warehousing migrants. There's no real plan. There is no real plan. Meaning when they leave the shelter, they're on the street. Yeah, and the mayor had this 60 days. You're allowed to be in the shelter for 60 days and then you leave so that they're no longer under our care. Well, guess where they're leaving to? The subway systems, encampments, they'll be in gardens, they'll be in public spaces. You're gonna see a lot more of them out and about because they're not in our care anymore. And it's just this fight and this misunderstanding by the general public about exactly what we should be doing to support the migrants, but also make sure that they're not taking on a lot of responsibility from us. It's a balance. We need to get them jobs. We need to get the certification going. We need to make sure that they got their asylum seeker application processed. And we're not doing any of that. What we're doing is warehousing them, making their lives impossible in an effort to drive them away to go back to where they came from. Okay, so that's the thing you want to see done, but what happens to that encampment? Well, the encampment is there. I'm not 100% sure of where it's going to go, but the way this mayor tends to react, we'll probably see some removal of the encampments, but I think it's a microcosm of a larger problem here. And I think that if we ignore the fact that if we shelter the migrants for a slightly longer time, get them these work authorization forms working to come through, they'll get jobs, and then we won't have to worry about them being in a shelter under our care or an encampment in our neighborhood. We're not doing that. No surprise that you have issues with the mayor. I've heard you talk about it before. There's
a lot of rumors about what's happening with you, right? Now that this kind of musical chairs has begun in city government, are you going to stay with the Brooklyn Borough President's office, or are you eyeing a run for comptroller or a different office?
Well, no, I'm going to be running for Brooklyn Borough President. I've been called by many friends to consider running for a citywide seat. I would be, you know, since Freddie Ferrer, there hasn't been a serious Latino candidate that has run citywide. And some people would be interested in us being able to achieve that and have the first Latino citywide. But right now, what I'm doing in Brooklyn, I feel like I'm learning on the job. I'm getting much better. I think another 4 years, if the Brooklynites would allow me that honor to represent them, I could affect more meaningful change right now. So I'm staying put. I'm not going to join the musical chairs anymore. I was entertaining it, but now I'm staying put. I'll be running for Brooklyn Borough President.
Okay, well, thank you.